the young and the restless. Spoilers. Welcome back to our channel, fellow drama enthusiasts. It is a beautiful day to dive headfirst into the chaotic, messy, and endlessly fascinating world of Genoa City. Grab your favorite beverage, settle into your comfiest spot, and let's untangle the latest web of secrets and heartbreak together. Okay, so I've been thinking about this, and my brain is just spinning in absolute circles right now. Like, I literally cannot stop thinking about Sally Spectra and this entire pregnancy test situation. Here's what's bugging me, and it has been keeping me up way too late. Sally took a second test. She wanted to be absolutely 100% sure, which honestly makes total sense given everything she's been through in her life. But the result? Negative. She is not pregnant, and I am just sitting here staring at my screen like, wait, what? What on earth is actually going on here? It's just weird. Like, really weird. The whole thing is just weird, and it feels like a massive puzzle piece is missing. Actually, no. First, I should mention the first test. Let me back up, because to understand why this second test is blowing my mind and making me question reality, we have to look at the first one. Audra Charles was the one who brought Sally that first test. Remember? I think it was just a few days ago in the timeline, somewhere around there. Sally was feeling off. Billy was being all protective and overbearing. And Audra just magically appears with a pregnancy test to help her friend out. And it was positive. Sally was pregnant, or at least the little plastic stick definitively said she was. And now, suddenly, test number 2 says no. So basically, uh, someone is lying, or biology is playing a really, really cruel joke on a woman who has already suffered too much. I mean, false positives happen, right? I think I read somewhere that they are super rare, though, like incredibly rare. False negatives are common because maybe you took it too early, but false positives usually mean there's actual HCG hormone in the system, or maybe not. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I just overanalyze soap operas for a living. But in this world, a false positive is almost never just a biological fluke. It's a plot device. It is a deliberate choice by the universe or a specific person to cause chaos. Which brings me to the crying scene. Oh my God, the crying scene. Billy and Sally just holding each other and sobbing because the second test was negative. Wait, what was I saying? Oh, right, the crying. It's so heartbreaking because think about it. Everything is going in the completely wrong direction for them. Or wait, is it? Because just a hot second ago, Sally was internally panicking about being pregnant. She was terrified. She was thinking about Billy's reckless history, his terrible decision making, and the absolute nightmare of dealing with Jill Abbott as a grandmother for the rest of her life. She was literally dreading it. So why is she crying now? Why are they both breaking down? Okay, I know I just said the opposite, but hear me out. Human emotions are messy. They aren't logical. Sally lost baby Ava. That trauma doesn't just go away, it lives in her bones. So when she saw that first positive test, yeah, she was terrified of the logistics and Billy's messiness, but a tiny part of her probably started to hope. She started to envision a baby again. The maternal instinct kicked in, even against her will. And Billy? Billy was overjoyed. He was already planning their future. He's a great dad, despite his massive, glaring flaws. and he was ready for this chapter. So having that ripped away, the whiplash is just, it's brutal. They were adjusting their entire worldview to accommodate a child, and then the rug was just yanked out from under them. But then again, that doesn't explain why the first test was positive in the first place, which brings me back to Audra. Audra. Here's my theory. Bring out the red string and the corkboard, because I am going down a deep, dark rabbit hole right now. Did Audra tamper with that first test? He was the one who bought it. She was the one who physically handed it to Sally. Is it possible she bought one of those joke pregnancy tests? You know, the ones you get at novelty stores or order online that always turn positive no matter what. But wait, why would she do that? What is her motivation? Let's psychoanalyze Audra Charles for a second. We know Audra recently confessed to Sally that she had a miscarriage years ago with Noah Newman. She lost a baby too. So she and Sally bonded over this shared horrific trauma. They had this deep emotional connection in that moment. So why on earth would she sabotage Sally? It seems completely counterintuitive. I mean, not exactly, but kind of. If she feels a bond with Sally, why give her a fake test and cause her this exact kind of psychological pain? Or maybe not. Maybe her trauma is exactly why she did it. What if Audra is projecting? What if she is so damaged by her own unresolved loss that she subconsciously or consciously, because Audra can be ruthless, wants to create chaos for Sally, like a misery loves company type of deal. She sees Sally potentially getting the one thing she lost, and she snaps. Or maybe she has some ulterior motive we aren't seeing yet. Is she working for someone? Could Victor Newman have paid her to mess with Billy's head to distract him from something else? No, wait. That makes no sense. Victor is way too busy sabotaging Phyllis and Summers Corp right now to care about Billy's reproductive life. I'm overthinking the corporate angle. Anyway, the point is, wait, what was the point? Oh, the tampering. If Audra bought a fake test, that is a level of psychological torture that is just incredibly dark, even for Audra. I mean, we know Audra is a ruthless corporate climber. She looks out for number one. She will step on anyone to get the CEO chair. But playing with a grieving mother's emotions by faking a pregnancy test, that crosses a massive line from ambitious schemer to actual sociopath. And I kind of don't want to believe Audra is a sociopath. I like her complex layers. I like that she has vulnerabilities. Let's backtrack again. Let's look at the physical mechanics of this. Is it possible the test wasn't a novelty fake, but Audra tampered with a real one in the bathroom? Like, did she dip it in something? Is there a household chemical that makes a pregnancy test turn positive? I should Google that. Actually, no, I shouldn't. My search history is already weird enough from trying to figure out the legalities of Devon suing Mariah for kidnapping. But seriously, how would Audra even fake it on the spot, unless she was pregnant herself? Wait. Oh my God. What if Audra is pregnant and she used her own urine on the test before giving it to Sally? Let me think about this. If Audra is pregnant, who is the father? Could it be Tucker or someone else she's been secretly seeing? If Audra is pregnant and she passed off her positive test to Sally, why? To hide her own pregnancy? To test Billy's reaction. But Sally took the test herself in the bathroom, right? I think it was just a few episodes ago, Sally went into the bathroom alone. Audra couldn't have peed on it for her unless she handed her an already used test, and Sally didn't notice, which is gross and highly unlikely. Okay, my theory just completely fell apart. Let me scrap that. My brain is moving faster than logic right now, so it has to be a novelty fake test. That's the only logical explanation if Audra is the culprit. But we also have to consider the possibility that Audra is completely innocent. I know, in Genoa City, no one is innocent. But what if she just bought a faulty test from a bad batch at the pharmacy? What if this is just a tragic, horrible medical anomaly? Sally's body has been through so much trauma, the stress, the grief, the emotional roller coaster with Billy. Maybe her hormones are just completely out of whack, causing a chemical false positive. Is that a thing? A chemical pregnancy? But a chemical pregnancy means you were pregnant and lost it very early. Did she lose it between test 1 and test 2? But Billy and Sally aren't going to just accept that it was a fluke. The notes say they need to find out the cause. They are going to investigate, and honestly, they absolutely should, because the emotional whiplash they are experiencing is not okay. Seeing them hug each other and cry, it just breaks my heart into a million pieces. Billy was so ready to be a dad again with Sally. He was probably thinking this would fix everything. He has this massive savior complex, you know. He thinks a new baby will erase the pain of losing Delia, or at least give him a fresh start to prove he isn't a screw-up. And Sally, poor, sweet Sally, she just cannot catch a break. Every time she tries to move forward, the universe just slaps her down. She was just starting to get her career back on track. She was just starting to trust Billy again. And then, boom, you're pregnant, followed immediately by, just kidding, you're not. It's cruel. It's just so deeply, fundamentally cruel. And the fact that she was actually kind of dreading the pregnancy because of Billy's messiness makes her grief now even more complicated. She's mourning a baby she wasn't even sure she was ready for, but the loss is still profound. This kind of reminds me of old storylines. Remember when Patty Williams faked stuff? Or when Diane Jenkins manipulated everyone with fake evidence? Actually, speaking of Diane, she's currently losing her mind over catching Jack and Nikki together, which is a whole other tangent I could go on for hours. But back to Sally. The psychological warfare of a fake pregnancy test is classic soap opera material. I think Chelsea did something shady with a pregnancy once too, right? Or maybe she just lied about paternity. I can't remember all the details. My brain is too full of current drama to perfectly recall the history of fake pregnancies right now. So, what is their next move? Billy and Sally are sitting there, crying, realizing they are not pregnant, and realizing someone might have played them. Billy is going to go full Billy Abbott mode. He's going to get obsessive. He's going to start interrogating the pharmacist, tracking down the serial number on the test box, probably hiring a private investigator. And if he finds out Audra had anything to do with it, oh boy, Billy will destroy her. He might be reckless and make terrible life choices, but he fiercely protects the people he loves when they are attacked. But then again, will Sally even let him go down that path? Sally might just want to drop it. She might be so exhausted by the emotional toll that she just wants to curl up in a ball and forget it ever happened. But the lingering question of why the first test was positive will eat at her. She's too smart to just let it go. She knows Audra. She knows Audra is a schemer. The seed of doubt has been planted in her mind. Did Audra do this to me? Once that thought enters Sally's brain, she won't be able to shake it. She will analyze every conversation they had leading up to the test. I just keep picturing the exact moment Sally looked at that second test. The single line, the negative result, the way her stomach must have just dropped completely into her shoes. It's a very specific, hollow kind of grief. You are grieving a future that only existed in your head for a few days. But those few days change your entire brain chemistry. You start thinking about names. You start looking at your apartment differently, wondering where a crib would go, worrying about how Jill is going to ruin the baby shower. And then, snap, it's gone. The future is erased. And Billy's reaction to the negative test is equally devastating to analyze, because he was probably already gearing up for the fight of his life to prove he could be a stable father this time. He was probably mentally preparing to defend Sally against his own mother, and now he doesn't have to. The relief he theoretically should be feeling about avoiding that drama is completely overshadowed by the profound sense of loss. They are mourning a ghost created by a piece of plastic that Audra Charles bought. Let's think about Audra's reaction when she inevitably finds out the second test was negative. Will she act surprised? Will she offer sympathy? If she did tamper with the test, she's going to have to put on the performance of a lifetime to convince Sally she had nothing to do with it. Audra is a phenomenal liar, but Sally is very perceptive. Sally knows when she's being played, most of the time, anyway. I mean, she did get played by Adam a few times, but that's different. That was love and manipulation mixed together. Wait, what if Adam finds out about this? Oh my God. If Adam finds out Sally thought she was pregnant with Billy's baby and then wasn't, how's he going to react? He's currently stuck in Vegas dealing with Matt Clark and a drugged up Nick, so he's a bit preoccupied with life or death situations. But eventually, he'll come back to Genoa City. And when he hears about this, he's going to have massive, complicated feelings. He might even investigate Audra himself, because despite everything, Adam still cares deeply about Sally's well-being, and he hates Billy. If he thinks Billy's orbit is causing Sally pain, he will insert himself. Actually, let me pull myself back. I'm getting way too far ahead. The immediate focus is Billy and Sally in that room, crying, trying to make sense of the senseless. They need to figure out what went wrong. Did they read the first test wrong? No. Audra saw it too. Did the first test expire? Maybe. But again, false positives are so insanely rare, it has to be foul play. It just has to be. My gut is screaming that Audra bought a prank test to mess with Sally, maybe out of some twisted subconscious jealousy over Sally having a chance at a baby when Audra lost hers. It's a dark theory, but this show loves going dark. Like, look at what Matt Clark is doing to Nick right now in the desert. The writers are not afraid to put these characters through absolute visceral hell. So Audra psychologically torturing Sally with a fake pregnancy test, it totally tracks with the tone of the show lately. But I'm still second guessing myself, because Audra seemed genuinely supportive when she gave Sally the test. She seemed like a real authentic friend in that moment. Was it all an act? Am I just totally misreading Audra's character and projecting villainy onto her? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just going to be up all night thinking about this. The dynamic between Sally, Billy, and Audra is about to completely explode. And when the truth comes out about that first test, whether it was a medical fluke, a bad batch, or a malicious prank by a supposed friend, the fallout is going to be massive. I guess I just have to wait and see, but my brain is just refusing to shut off. Basically, I'm obsessed and I need answers like yesterday. Wait, one more thing. What if Billy is the one who tampered with the first test? No, that's insane. Billy wanted the baby, but he wouldn't fake a test to trap her. He was genuinely surprised. Okay, yeah, scratch that. It's definitely Audra or biology. It has to be. I am just going in circles now. This is what this show does to me. It makes me question every single interaction. I am going to be analyzing the way Audra blinks in her next scene to see if she's lying. Anyway, the point is, Sally and Billy are heartbroken, the pregnancy is off, and the mystery of the false positive is the most compelling thing happening right now. I need to know the truth.